Doug here. So I have this amazing scale I just added to the collection. It is a Henry Troemner. I hope I'm saying that right. Troemner. This is a model 80B. Can't really find much information out there about these. All I know is Henry Troemner was a German immigrant, worked as a machinist, and realized there was a need for precision scales back during the gold rush, the California gold rush. And he was so good at making scales in his company that they were the only scale chosen by the U.S. Treasury to measure gold bullion during the gold rush, which is really cool. So it's got some great history. This particular scale is rated to 20 kilograms, which is about 44 pounds. It does that because this entire scale, well, one, it's massive. Here's my hand for scale, pun intended. This scale weighs over 60 pounds. It's solid cast iron and brass, and it is gorgeous. So the amazing part is this thing is over, 117 years old, and it still moves beautifully and smooth, and it still balances, which is the amazing part. Over here, this is the additional weight cup, and in the bottom, hear that rattle? You can actually put lead slivers inside there to adjust your center point to get it balanced. So I got that all dialed in, which I did a video on later. I noticed this little tag here for the U.S. weights and measures. So it has been certified. So this might have been a government use or used in a place where money exchanged hands, which is really awesome. We ended up buying it in the woods in Ohio, and it was built in Philadelphia. So who knows its life that it's had. I love the fact that the original logo is still in place on top of this plate here. This plate is removable. This linkage setup on the back here is amazing. And it manages to keep the plate perfectly parallel through the whole range of movement. Now the scale came with these weights. These are the original weights, the 5 and 10. And normally would have came with 2 2s and a 1. That way you could do every possible range. This 1 kilo is from a different scale manufacturer. It's a slightly different font than the other one. It's a different make too. That one's brass. And then this one says 100 pounds. So it's obviously not for this scale. But in another video, you'll see I did the calibration of these to verify them all in. But let's say you want to use this scale. You would take something, you would put it on here, and it works like a triple beam balance scale that you would find in your old chemistry class, or if you've ever been to a doctor's office or a gym, you would find something like this. And you basically would just try to find your highest number to make it trip out, which that did not. So I need to add additional weight more than 1 kilogram. So I'm just going to start by adding a 2 here. And I see that's too heavy. So I'm going to add a 1 kilogram. Then I'm going to bring this forward until it trips. And then I'll take it back 1. Maybe 1 more additional here and see where we balance at. We're going to go back 1 more. So we're a bit heavy, and I'm going to take this and I'm going to slide it forward until it starts to balance. Like so, and you can actually help it by putting your finger on here. So I need to go back a little bit. And again, if you do this for a living, you'd be much more precise and fast with it. So there's pretty close to balance. So basically I would say how to measure this now is we have 1,000. So you take 1,000 times this, 1,124 grams is how much this water bottle weighs with water in it, which is really cool. So again, this will be used in like an apothecary, or a place that dispenses medicine, someplace you want a lot of high accuracy. But because this was rated for 44 pounds, I bet you this was used for dosing for industrial purposes, for adding minerals or trace elements into castings or things like that. We need to measure precise amounts, but in very large weights, which is really cool. So this company, Troemner, is still around. They now make precision calibrated weights for laboratory use. So it's amazing the fact they're still around. Their sister company, which you may have heard of, happen to have a scale of theirs, is OHAS. Hope I'm saying that right. They make precision scales. And what's funny is the OHAS 20 kilogram is this scale. You can still buy it today. It's $2,000 scale. Almost none of things changed. They changed the castings, but the mechanism and the operation is identical to this 1905 model. I mean, you got a great product. Why change it? It works all these years. So it's really, really cool piece. Again, I'm glad I got these 2 original weights. I'm going to try to hunt down the other original weights that go with it. But for now, since I discovered that this part moves to be part of original triple beam, because this scale in 1905 was made in 2 variants, a double beam, which I have here, and then triple beam, which had a third one that ran down the middle attached to these screws here. And I was able to free this up and set up 2 markers with the blue lines there to represent 1 and 2 kilogram increments. So I can use it as a triple balance scale, which is really awesome. But I figured you guys would get a kick out of this amazing piece of history I have now added to the collection. Thanks for watching.